Hey everyone, Renee Johnson here, the Power Zone coach and also the Profit Zone Authority, Profitable Leadership here. I wanted to come to you live to further the discussion around the article that I posted yesterday. And we were talking about shapeshifter leaders. Yes, that's a term I use for leaders that don't realize that they are presenting one way and then behind the scenes morphing back into old habits and behaviors, subject to even comfort zones and fears. And there's three key things that I started to address in the article that you could identify if you might have that potential in different situations, maybe not all the time, and or other people on your leadership team or business that might possess this, and why it's important. One of the things I want to do with my LinkedIn Live is to inspire. That is the number one reason I want to do these. I'm so grateful for LinkedIn to approve me. I need to start doing these more often. This is my second in the last couple of weeks. And I am grateful to be able to provide that. And if I can't inspire, then I don't like to post. And I hope you recognize in the things that I do. And where the inspiration comes from is from my experiences of nearly over 25 years, nearly 30, if I really be honest, of coaching leaders and working with businesses and working with executive teams in all kinds of industries and all levels, from small business to international. And that passion that I have of the difference that being a profitable leader, one that knows how to work from their power zone so that they can create profit inside and outside in their business. So inside holistically and outside on the bottom line and in the community, and how they are impacting that is vital now in this economy, in this business economy we're in, more than ever. And it has been my charge. I may have coined it a little different throughout the years, but I've always focused on that the knowing your power zone and understanding how to play in that will help you plug your power leaks. And those power leaks, as I shared yesterday in the article, are wasted time, wasted resources, and wasting strengths and talents. And so now back to the shapeshifter. This is just speaking from my heart today. No really set agenda, just want to expand on a couple of things for you. So if you have questions as we're going through, please put the comments in here and I'll make sure that I will respond following this live broadcast. I'm trying it today from my cell phone, and so I'm not exactly sure how to make it work and type on it while I'm talking. So I'll probably catch you afterwards, okay? So here's the thing. So yesterday I shared about what that meant. So go check a look at the article. I'll repost the link here below in the live of what shapeshifter really means and how to identify it. And there are three things that you can identify, I have, when I go into companies, that will tell me if a leader has the tendency to do this and or the culture as a leadership team. And yesterday we addressed one of those, and that is a leader that says one thing but does another. So in essence, maybe communicates the values that they want, or certain strategy or procedure, a way to care for customer or whatnot, but then on their own front does not walk their talk. Big no. That's a huge profit waster. It demoralizes. It breaks down the culture, breaks down the morale. That in turn starts to affect every aspect of doing the job, and the byproduct of having customers that love you want to come back, and then ultimately affect your bottom line, right? So today I want to talk about the second thing. I had identified that there are three key things. I mean, again, I've been doing this over 25 years, and when I go into companies, me and my team, and we do our evaluations with the team members, and we're looking for how do we help the leaders, up level them, and how can the leaders help you and call you up to your best potential? And hands down, every time, three key things come forward in that survey. And yesterday, that about not walking your talk is definitely one of those, okay, of the top 3. Today, I want to address a second one, and that is not giving and receiving feedback. Giving and receiving feedback. Now, we may very often think that we are as leaders, and you might be, but are you getting the end outcome that you want? Is the feedback loop working for you? And how do you measure that? How do you measure that, not just you, but for the receivee, and how they're taking it, and what are they going to do with it? How does it lift them, again, from the inside out? That is the new measurement of profit, people. This is something I've integrated into my business for over 15 years now. And I'm so excited to see that more are realizing how important this is. That profitability has to be measured from the well-being holistic sense and the outer outcomes. That's where the true transformation in the business bottom line will take place. So the giving and receiving of feedback, I could talk all day on this, but I want to try to keep this around the 10, 15 minute mark, okay? Not do too long a one here. So that is one of the things that employees will say. And also know that we have a hiring for success program that we've had for years. And one of the key things that come out in our interview process, when we're asking potential candidates, how are they best motivated? And what are they looking for in their next company? What would keep them there in a 5-year career or more? And you know what comes out? They might throw in there, well, money's nice, or I need to pay for my family and things like that. But I would say 90% of the time, what really is important to them is being recognized, being valued, knowing that they're doing a good job, that they're contributing. One said yesterday, I was doing a higher level executive for a leadership role yesterday, and he said that, he wants to know that his voice is heard. Those are the words that he said. So how do we make sure that our employees, our team members know their voice is heard? Because that's ultimately how we as individuals feel inspired to do more and to show up and to bring our best self when we feel recognized, right? When we feel recognized. And so knowing how to do that and also measuring that is so key. So if we think about the feedback loop, there are different ways that you're going to be communicating. You have the day-to-day projects in your online measurements, or your online mediums, your online mediums. That could be a measurement, like your email, your texting, if you're doing different type of online apps like Voxer or whatnot for communication. Those are mediums to see what is the response, how you're doing it. You have when you're delegating, and there's some key things in there to make this really an opportunity to help create better profit centers in your employees when you delegate correctly. If you want to know more, reach out to me separately. When you're having team meetings or huddles, breakdowns, unpacking and doing little breakout meetings and so forth, that's another form of communication. You have when you're doing performance reviews, right? And when you're also setting goals and doing your succession planning and so forth, whatever level you're doing that in. I mean, I could probably had like 10 in my mind. Okay. I had 10 in my mind. You also have, just the interaction and being present where you can show up. And in this virtual age, gosh, when your employees can feel kind of isolated, I even feel isolated, even though I've largely worked in a virtual environment for many years. It's different not being able to fly out and go meet with customers or go speak live and do my trainings or my keynotes and so forth. So having that physical touch. So that's another form of giving and receiving feedback, right? So what I would challenge you to do is to take a temperature in your organization and find out what your employees see as the way that they would measure that you are proactively providing feedback and that you are willing and capable of receiving feedback. Two different things. It's much easier to tell than it is to listen. However, listening is the number one voice that leaders need to work on and improve upon, especially in this new era of consciousness and awakening. And as you work to do that, you will learn a lot about yourself, okay, the chatter that's going on up here, and you'll learn a lot about others, and you'll learn about your energy. So energy is another way to give and receive feedback. Had an evaluation with a client and one of their team members, helping them look at their performance measurements and how to break this out. And it was interesting. Some feedback came forward about how this particular leader has the biggest heart. I just adore him. He's doing a great job learning and growing and busting his butt. However, the feedback was that the employees were feeling his energy before they were hearing his words. And the energy was coming off stress, really stressed, maybe a little disorganized, a little bit discombobulated. And so they could hear the words, but they weren't implementing the feedback. And so that created what? A negative feedback loop, because he's thinking he's telling them, which he probably was, but they're hearing the vibration of the energy. And so they're trying to discern between the two and interpret. And what happens with a confused mind? Generally doesn't do a real good job, whether that be in sales or in leading your team. Okay. And in that, the employee then was starting to freeze up and feel paralyzed. So then when he went to check the work and see what was happening, what do you think happened to him? He was judging that employee based on the outcome, not on his feedback and how well they received it. So we broke that down and taught them a feedback loop that could help them understand before they exit into the execution part, that each person is heard and each person feels valued and feels that there's a trust level exchange to do the job well done. That's one example. This is an important aspect, is seeing where in your models that the feedback work is working and that where it's broken down. You as leaders, be willing to self-assess and to take yourself out of the equation. We can't often see our own with our blinders on because we hold it so tight. We're busy, or we're passionate, or we've done it 100,000 times. We can do it in our sleep, and so we miss the opportunity to be present with the message. And slowing down and being present with the message will actually save you quite a bit of time in the other end, of course, correction, and that affects our profits, doesn't it? Absolutely does. So there's a lot of food for thought here, but that is the second key thing. And the employees, on the other hand, just real quickly as I go to wrap up this mini segment, is for them to feel heard, they need to be asked questions and have eye contact, and or that they feel like the interaction electronically is actually geared to them, personalized to them. Now you may think that, well, I don't have time. I just copy paste and whatnot. You always have time, even if it's the first sentence in a communication, to check in personally, to bring something up. Hey, how's your baby doing? I noticed you said he was sick last week, or how's your wife, or something that you can relate and build that personal relationship. When we build personal relationships, then we want to communicate with somebody. We want to lean in. We want to hear their feedback, right? We know they care about us. And what's the saying? The BLT, believability, likability, and trust. That goes with your relationships too, with your employees. And so checking in with them, getting the temperature, and then also asking questions of them that require them to do more than yes or no. That's a good indicator that you're wanting to hear more, that you're wanting to get into their thinking, and throw in there something where you can get an idea for innovation, something new, or something that they can effectuate in the business, that you can bring them into the collaboration process. That's another way. But ultimately, it's going to be that you reply in acknowledgement and you then do something on the deliverable end with that information at some point in your organization, in your feedback loop. So now here's the thing. You can acknowledge without agreeing. Because I've heard that before. Well, what if I don't agree? They're sucky. I don't like their idea. What's the fastest way to get people to listen to you is to acknowledge where they're at before you take them where you want to go. But that's going to be in my next one that I'm going to pop in here probably within the week and give you the third key element that you need to watch out for to not be a shapeshifter leader and to be a profitable leader instead. 3 key things that I know without a doubt, hands down, that are going to impact your profitability inside and outside. So we addressed one of them in the article. Link will be below. Then right now I addressed lightly another. Okay, I have more information on my website and my different posts and on my YouTube, some different things if you want to go take this further. And then I'm going to address the third one when I swing back around, probably within the week. I hope that this was helpful today. This was fun being live with you, and hope that it inspires you, because that's what I want to do. And again, pop your questions below. Let me know. I'm happy to answer them. I'd love to hear your feedback. If this was valuable to you or not, please let me know, okay? And if there's any particular things that you want me to cover in my LinkedIn Lives, I absolutely want to hear about those, okay? This again is Renee Johnson, the Power Zone Coach and the Profitable Leadership Authority. Signing out for today. Happy Thursday. Bye.